Hey everybody and welcome back. This is the third installment in my bigger build series where I attempt to make some pieces and get my name out there for future jobs and to potentially make a little money as a side hustle in woodworking. I've been fortunate to get some furniture builds from a few clients now, but I'm curious, what do most people end up building as their first builds? If you're a builder or an aspiring builder, leave me your first builds in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you started. Today's build is going to be a live edge walnut coffee table, and I'll be building this out of one slab of walnut and installing pre-made metal legs, so it's a pretty straightforward build, but like most builds, there's always a little curveball that catches me off guard. So stick around and I'll walk you through my process, and if you're not already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that hype button. It really helps out a small channel like mine. If you've been following the channel at all for the last little bit, you'll see that I've been attempting to do some more custom builds and get away from just the run-of-the-mill smaller projects. Not that I don't enjoy those, but I got my heart set on something bigger. Anytime a client reaches out with an idea or a specific ask, I get excited. I like to challenge myself with builds, and my confidence in my skills is definitely growing. A lot of the times when a client reaches out with a build, they have a general idea of what they want and they kind of expect you to fill in the blanks, which can be tough to do, especially if it's somebody you've never met before and you have no idea what their specific tastes are. But this client came to me with a picture of pretty much exactly what they wanted. It was a beautiful live edge walnut coffee table. Nice dark walnut wood in the center with an accent of sapwood along the edges. So I reached out to a couple wood suppliers and got a quote on a couple pieces of walnut. For the size they wanted, I needed a pretty thick walnut tree, and the price came back quite high. I appreciated the client's honesty when they said that was just a little more than they were expecting to pay for this piece. They even threw out the idea of using a maple and staining it dark to kind of get the look they wanted, but I wasn't a fan of that, so I decided to call a couple other lumber suppliers and see what I could come up with. Anywhere I went to get a good sized slab of walnut, the price really wasn't much different from one spot to the other. But then I got thinking, maybe I could take a slab of a smaller piece of walnut, cut it into smaller strips, and rearrange it to get the look I wanted. I was able to save some money on the walnut, but the trade-off was it was going to be a little more work on my end. I only have a 6-inch joiner, so the first thing I had to do was build a planer sled so I could flatten these slabs. I cut a piece of 3/4 inch ply into 12.5 inches wide to fit through my planer. Then using shims and hot glue, I made sure that the slab wouldn't rock back and forth as it went through the planer. That would give me one side perfectly flat. With both sides planed, I get a better idea of what the finished product is going to look like. And this is on the lighter side of walnut, but I'm pretty confident that a good finish will darken it up. I clean out any crack or hole that I see, and I'll fill with a nice black epoxy. Alright, now I know I want the live edge to be up this way when the table's done. I also want to utilize the darkest parts of the table. So I'm going to use my old T-square from my past life as a drywall finisher, crack filler, mutter, taper, installer guy. And just use that to get a visual on what pieces I'm going to be able to stick together here. Once I get an idea of what sections of the board I'm going to use, I'm going to cut them down into strips, leaving them just a little bit big so that I can manipulate them a little bit if I have to, and so I can joint the edges for a nice tight joint. And here's a fun fact for you. Although this may look like it's in slow motion, it's actually real time. I'm just using a very small saw and an aftermarket track. Someday I'm going to have to invest in a better track saw, not only for the power and the depth of the cut, but for the dust collection. Now that I got all my pieces cut, it's time to play the arrange game again and second guess every decision I made before. See, here I can flip it over end for end, side to side, and just come up with the best pattern, something that looks natural and gives the darkest wood in the center and sapwood on the outside without having too many blotches in the middle. I find if you don't get a good enough joint and a natural transition of the wood, it sticks out like a sore thumb. My original idea was to have both live edges going in the same direction, but I just couldn't make that work if I wanted a nice solid grain pattern in the center. But that's fine. That's the exact orientation you get if you're doing a book match table anyway. One side of the live edge is up, the other is down. So now that I finally decided on the look that I wanted for the third time, it's time to cut everything to the final dimensions and then joint them. And here you can enjoy another super slow shot of my saw. I may not have upgraded my track saw yet, but I did upgrade the head of my joiner to a fine by tool helical head cutter, and I couldn't be happier. I love old tools. I love my joiner. It's got a beautiful flat top on it. It's pretty heavy, but the head left a lot to be desired. It only had 3 knives and they were flat, so every time it chipped out a chunk of board, you really felt it. So I recently upgraded to the fine by tool helical cutter head, and I'm telling you, it was a world of difference. The design of these heads make it so that the blades don't all contact the wood at once. They kind of bite into it piece by piece. And each individual blade can be rotated 4 times. So essentially you get 4 sets of blades in one kit. I was surprised that they actually had a replacement for my old jalopy of a joiner. And the installation was super easy. It bolted right up. It couldn't fit any better. I was seriously considering upgrading my old joiner because I wasn't getting the quality cuts that I wanted. And every cut just felt like I was trying too hard to get a decent cut. It was really vibraty. It just didn't feel nice. And not to mention the amount of time I spent setting up the blades when I did replace them. With these, you just snap it in and everything's level. It gives you a nice, smooth, straight edge so that you get nice, smooth, straight joints. I put a link to the Fine by Tool website in the description below if you want to check them out. Alright, now I'm almost ready for the glue up. And since my planer is not going to be big enough to accommodate this and I don't have a drum sander, it's very important that I get the glue up to be as flat as possible. I'm going to be using dowels and my doweling jig. So right now I'm just laying out where I want my dowels to go to be sure that I don't cut through any of them when I cut the table down to the final length. I've done that before. Not fun. This jig is really easy to use and I absolutely love it. One thing I would do differently though is invest in some better drill bits, and 1/2-inch dowels for alignment is a bit of overkill. Drilling over 30 holes through walnut can get quite tiring. Next time I'll use 1/4-inch dowels. The dowels kept all the pieces nice and flush, so that's really going to cut down on the sanding time. And if you're still watching at this point, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate it even more if you could hit that like and subscribe button. So at this point here is when you can really see the light at the end of the tunnel. No pun intended. I know finish is just around the corner and everything's looking good. And that's when I found it. A small crack hiding right below a fine layer that I just sanded off. I decided to fix this. I was gonna kind of pry the crack open a little bit and clean out any loose stuff on the inside. Then I'm gonna use glue, but I wanna make sure I get the glue as far down in the crack as I can. I mean really down in there. I don't wanna leave any voids at all. To get it down there as far as I can, I'm gonna try a trick I saw in a video a while back where I just use a straw and blow the glue down into the joint. It seemed to work pretty good. I then clamp it and I wipe off any excess glue. Actually, I wipe off a little more. I want there to be a little void so that I can add the matching epoxy that I did for the other voids. Once the epoxy and the glue is cured, I get back to my final sand before I apply and finish. I went with Rubio Monocoat, and I went with it because it tends to darken up the wood a bit, actually quite a bit. As you can see here, the walnut that was once kind of a lighter faded color is really turning into that nice rich brown that everybody loves. And even though it's supposed to be a one coat system, hence the name monocoat, denser woods like walnut usually benefit from a second coat. So I scuff it all down using the Scotch-Brite pad and apply a second coat using my buffer. Now, I gotta say the easiest part of this build was installing the legs, which is generally the opposite you get when you build your own. Wooden legs are time consuming. My customer wanted metal legs for a more modern look, and I've never worked with them before. So when I started researching, I found there was all different kinds of companies out there that offer these legs, and unfortunately there was also a lot of bad reviews. I eventually came across Fractal Design's website. They had great reviews, they had good prices, and they're a Canadian company, so that was a bonus for me. I was really happy with the quality of these legs as well. When you picked them up, they felt heavy. They felt like you got what you paid for. And the installation was super easy, so I can't recommend Fractal Designs enough. The legs came with built-in self-leveling feet, and you can also buy all the hardware you need from their website as well. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check them out for yourself. After I test fit everything and was happy with it, I went on to the final installation, and the table was done. I was really happy with the way the table came out. I was happy with how dark the walnut got with the finish. I was happy with the metal legs. I was even happy with the orientation of the grain. But most importantly, the client couldn't have been happier. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time.